Greetings. You have entered Luhrenloup's cave. Deep in the ground, the universal unconscious lies waiting to expose its secrets. The cave has, from the inception of humankind, enticed, mesmerized. It has been protective shelter, spiritual temple, keeper of sacred images, rituals, and lastly, burial chamber. For the past few centuries, humankind has turned its back on non-rational ways of perceiving. There are many names attached to this area of human experience: shamanic, psychic, mystical, intuitive, superstitious. This other way of perceiving is at odds with the rational world and is rightly seen as a threat. Yet it is here, a part of every human being's experiences. We have no true words for these unexplained happenings. The word psychic is one that I detest, but it's the only way I can make myself understood by most. My gift is easily lost. The everyday life overwhelms. The everyday life has its comforts, its known fears. One is soothed, caressed, fed. One is ill, broke, despised. One will die. Seeing is about pulling the mask off and truly being there at that moment. It's that part of self that you understand as ancient, has always been, will always be, the one who knows you, the totality of you. Luhrenloup's Path by Laurent Saint-Pierre. Section 1. Manifestation of the Spirit. She was a very unhappy 18-year-old married girl with a baby. Her marriage was on the verge of collapse when she had a strange, incomprehensive dream. An eagle appeared at the top of her refrigerator. It did not talk, but somehow transmitted information that she belonged to it and it was the ruler of her life. Laurent was a headstrong girl and did not appreciate hearing that she was ruled by another. She didn't understand the dream, but knew it was important. Years later, in her 30s, she came upon Carlos Castaneda's The Teaching of Don Juan. The dream seemed to be related to this sorcerer's teachings. Again, she went back into the fog, but not completely. She wrote down her dreams religiously and bought all of Castaneda's books as they came out, still not connected to it. Fascinating account is how she categorized it. Section 2. The Knock of the Spirit. Then again, at another turning point in her life, her daughter going off to college, she had another dream. This time, a sorcerer appeared, and it seemed he had been taking notes on her life. She was flattered that he saw her inconsequential life as worthy of note. This man had tremendous power. She was terrified. He was able to transcend time, space, even corporeality. First thing she knew, she was lying in bed naked, and he was on top of her. He stroked all of her body, but not in a sexual manner. A big black panther lay on the floor next to them and slid its tail between her legs. The old man sat up on top of her and pointed to a piano. "I've not been able to play in a long time," he said. She reached up and stroked his steel gray hair. The dream occurred an hour after she fell asleep, and it woke her. So frightened she was beside herself, running through the rooms, putting the lights on, convinced he was nearby. She was finally able to allay her fears somewhat by getting in a warm bath. The dream led her to ask serious questions about the music she was producing in her life. Section 3. The Descent of the Spirit. At another time, on the way to a vision quest, she stopped to camp at an abandoned logging site and had a most eerie feeling that the sorcerer was nearby. She had been thinking about the problem of chatter in her head and how it protects her from coming face to face with the unknown. Shortly after bedtime, she was awakened by the heavy rain collapsing the tent on her. Luhrenloup had a dream in which she was asked to produce a picture of herself for her driver's license. But she couldn't seem to find any photo of herself without another person in the picture. In the morning, she awoke to find her car had a flat tire and the battery was dead. A new car. Luhren had come to the end of the road. Since then, she marshals her small bundle of energy and tries to follow the sorcerer's path to freedom. Thanks for listening. You're welcome to visit my website, luhrenloup.com, where you can leave feedback in the journal blog. Among the site's many offerings is a divination page with a weekly I Ching, oracle, and lots of other contributions. She is bored and would like to sleep. One wall is covered with t-shirts for sale, and there is some Indian jewelry. As soon as it is polite for her to get away, she says goodbye to Beverly, giving her a good hug, thanks the hostess who owns the house, and she is back on the road.